We had a rollicking good time with Jerry Seinfeld while working on a profile of him that aired here last night. It was mostly about his new life as a producer and the new season for his web show called Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. But it was something he said about what he's noticed about himself in adult life that got a ton of attention today. He believes he fits somewhere on the autism spectrum. We get a follow-up report tonight from our national correspondent, Kate Snow.
We all know Jerry Seinfeld is a funny man, but when he told Brian he thinks he's on the autism spectrum, he wasn't joking.
I don't see it as dysfunctional. I just think of it as an alternate mindset.
He'd been talking about his web series where he interviews comedians.
They're the only kind of people that I feel completely relaxed around. Every other social interaction I have is somewhat of a management.
And that's when he brought up a play he'd seen on Broadway called The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. He said he saw himself in the main character who has autism.
In the play, the kid talks about this expression, the apple of your eye. You say she's the apple. There's no apples in your eye. Why are you saying that? It's over-literalizing. I'm very literal. When people talk to me and they use expressions, sometimes I don't know what they're saying.
It's been a storyline on NBC's Parenthood when Ray Romano's character came to the realization he might have all the symptoms after reading a book.
Check, check, check. I'm seeing my life here. I'm seeing my life. I'm seeing everything, the whole thing.
Reaction to Seinfeld's comments on Autism Speaks Facebook page, mostly positive.
What he said really struck a chord with the autism community.
Seinfeld joins a growing number of adults identifying themselves as being on the autism spectrum.
Well, I think as awareness grows in the community, stigma surrounding autism decreases. And I think more people feel comfortable talking about their own experiences.
Psychologists are rappelling down the side of my house like the autism task force is coming to diagnose me. Like, there he is, I've got a visual. And
author David Finch never realized he was on the spectrum until he was 31.
I cried because it was this moment of self-recognition I had never had before.
Like Jerry Seinfeld, he says he struggled with social interaction. He had to practice it.
I'm choosing my words a little more carefully, and I'm modulating my voice to kind of match what it is that I'm saying.
These are things that most of us don't think about while we're doing them. We just do them.
Okay. See, that's strange to me.
I spoke to David today. He said what Seinfeld said was great. He's happy to see people talking about autism. Autism Speaks says it's unclear how many adults are living with autism. They're actually funding a study starting next year to try and quantify how many adults are out there. And unlike Jerry Seinfeld, Brian, how many need support.
It is a fascinating story. Kate Snow, thank you as always. We are back in a moment after a break with what we learned today about the death of a beloved Hollywood star. With tonight's news about more Americans in uniform heading back into Iraq, this has been a homecoming week at Camp Pendleton for some of the last Marines and sailors who left Afghanistan. The 1st Marine Division is commemorating the 10th anniversary of the brutal Battle of Fallujah, the largest loss of life that unit suffered in combat since Vietnam. Final autopsy results are in tonight for Robin Williams. Confirmation he died from asphyxia due to hanging. And notably, his system was free of alcohol and illegal drugs when he took his own life inside his Northern California home back in July. His family had said at the time he'd been dealing with a bout of particularly severe depression.